We don't want to play with traditional hooks, we want to play with long hooks. This allows us to play arm trap, triangles and body triangles. So we've great options from this position. Whereas traditional hooks, any good jiu-jitsu player are able to just turn their knees in the opposite direction and then they're just like, they're starting to cause scrambles and escape the back, right? So a long hook is always going to be better. Body triangle is the best, but the problem with the body triangle is you don't have the top arm to, or the top leg to work on arm traps and everything else. So this is a good kind of like happy medium. So we said elbow in front of the shoulder is really important. The angle that you want is elbow on the shoulder and then hand goes down towards the opposite wrist here. All right, so it's like a seat belt in the car. So a seat belt doesn't go from, say, your right pec to your left pec. It goes from like a shoulder to hip. So we want the same type of control. So we said that if we've someone that's really hard to open up, so his elbows are really tight, he's tucking his chin and not able to get anything, this is always a good option to start using our legs. All right, so we can go into triangles or we can go back to the arm trap. If I find that Tyke is flaring his elbow and he's stopping me from getting this, what I do is I look to get top hand position and I pin his hand onto his chest. He's flaring his elbow. All right, so we keep making this angle, bring the elbow back in towards the body, and then I go knee outside his shoulder and his elbow and I bring it in towards the center. All I do is I lock out my top hand. So if you look at my right arm, I just straighten it. All right, that just gives me a little bit of it brings his arm a little bit closer to my top foot here. And then I kick start the motorbike here. We start to cross our feet. All right, so if we're going for rear naked chokes, it's a good idea for me to have my head around the level of Tyke's head here. All right, so if Tyke tucks his chin, which he should, I'm going to get the knuckle of my thumb behind his ear here. All right, this is kind of like best case scenario. If I can get this, great, and then we can go into our rear naked choke. So what I really want to work today is, if someone's tucking their chin and you're not able to get it, what do we do? So I'm going to look to grip as far as I can across the far side here and try to get my elbow around, like say his nose or his chin. And then I'm going to pull his head up at an angle, this way here. I free my left hand, and then what I do is I look to get this hand underneath here. All right, this could happen in one go, it could happen in 2 or 3 goes. So again, so we're here. I can't get the choke. He's defending really well. Don't think about gripping the shoulder with your hand. Think about bringing your elbow as far as you can across that far shoulder. And then I'm looking to get Tyke to look up at the top corner of the room here. All right, so if Tyke tries to fight a little bit, this hand will go in. Maybe Tyke will tuck his chin. I'll do the same on the opposite side here. And then we can start to fish to get the neck. So one more time. So we're here, big reach around, and I'm going to pull the elbow up towards the roof. I swim my hand down towards his belly button, and then we look to catch the neck here. So let's work that piece, and then we'll actually work blocking up the hands and finishing it in a couple of minutes. Right, so 3, 2, 1. This is really good for NoGi and for any of the MMA lads, and just people in general that are hard to submit, right? So again, with the arm trap, we'll start with the elbow flared. So his elbow's flared. Top hand position, pin his hand towards his chest. Calf goes on the elbow, bring his elbow in towards his body, and then we pinch the elbow and the hand in towards the center. I lock out my top arm, so that's my right arm here. Heel goes into the forearm or the crease of the elbow. Push the hand down, and then we cross our feet and get top hand position. Tyke is tucking his chin. My goal is to not like just grip the shoulder. My goal is to try bring this elbow through the center line. So it's here the best I can. All right, I'm covering like say his nose and his mouth, and I'm going to pull my right elbow up towards the top right hand corner. So here, his neck is exposed. So what I do now is to free my left hand, swim the hand down towards the belly button, out towards the elbow, and then back up towards his head. Tyke is naturally going to like look to hand fight, so when he does, get top hand position. Keep the door open. You can see my head is on the left side. I'm going to switch it now in a second. So we go left hand, and then I switch my head to the opposite side where we can go into like kind of like a short choke or a Gable grip here. We'll talk about the finish in a second, right? The switch of the head position is really important. So again, we have the arm trap. He's tucking his chin. I'm going to reach the elbow as far as I can through the center. So it's here. I pull the elbow up towards the top right hand corner here, swim the hand down towards the belly, up towards the elbow and shoulder. Tyke's going to hand fight, so once he looks to bring his hand up, we get top hand position, flaring this elbow, and then watch the way I bring this hand in, and I switch my head to the opposite side here, and then we go into our, we get like a Gable grip. So the finish on this is to try to get your forearm in line with his shoulders. So the way I do this is I bring my left elbow back towards the mat, and I'm going to hip in and drive my right elbow in towards his back, here to get the tap. So it's left elbow back, and then right elbow goes in towards his back. So one more time. So we catch the neck. You can see my head is on the left side. Pull his head up towards the right hand corner. Free your hand. Ty goes to fight the hands. So we look for top hand position. Swim this underneath the neck. And watch the way once I get underneath the neck, I switch my head to the opposite side. We take our Gable grip. Bring your left elbow back towards your left hip, and your right elbow goes in towards his back. Here to get the finish. All right, so 3, 2, 1.